Hey guys, welcome back to a new video. Today we're going to be working on the Jeep Liberty, '02 Jeep Liberty. And since we're doing the axle seal and I got the axle out, now's the best time to just do the brakes. They look like crap, they're old, they need replacement. So we're going to go ahead and do that. First thing you're going to do is try to clean as much. Usually they're not wet like this one is because I had a failed seal. But anyway, clean any dust off of it with some brake cleaner. Once you get it off, take a picture of what you got. Obviously, I got a video. Take a picture of everything the way it's sitting so that you can put everything back the same way. Okay? We're gonna start. Get yourself a kit like this if you have it. If not, you can do a lot of these removal of the springs and everything with just pliers and a flathead screwdriver and maybe a needle nose. I might still need a needle nose, but go ahead and get yourself one of these. After you take the picture and you got all the dust off, start removing springs. We're gonna start by removing these right here. And the way you do that with a tool is you grab this tool right here, you place it on here, and voila. And you do the same thing with this one. And that's two. Now the third one is not a spring, it's a mechanism that goes over here with a cable, but it broke off. I have it over there somewhere, and it attaches to here. So we're gonna have to look at the other side to make sure we put that back in the right location. Okay. Now then we're gonna use something like this from the kit. And this is for this. Gotta see what size works for you. Probably this one. You're gonna turn, you're gonna push and turn, and it will unlock from here. Okay. And then we're gonna go ahead and open this up and remove everything. So let's go ahead and, yeah, we're gonna leave this spring on here for now. I'm gonna leave this here for now. We're gonna go ahead and take these off. I'm gonna try to show you one. There you go, see? Get that where it goes. I'm gonna try to place everything the same way onto the cardboard. That way I don't lose their location, basically. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this off. Okay, at this point, I took that one off. So at this point now you open it up and you're gonna be able to remove the shoe, both shoes off. This is probably gonna come off. It's gonna fall. Take note how it is. This is probably gonna come off. Take note how it goes. The spring goes that way towards the back. And then we're gonna have to disconnect the parking brake cable. I just took this thing off from here. I opened up both brake shoes and I took this off. I'll place it right here. How it goes, the spring, I had this piece right here. Now I'm gonna go ahead and remove both sides. Like I said, well, this one I can remove it, right? Or we can leave it on there. It's gonna fall. But if it does, you know that it goes there. I'm gonna open it up with both hands and then I'm gonna remove it. So you see guys, I opened it up, remove it from there, pull it out, and now we got the parking brake cable. What we gotta do is disconnect that from there. And we're gonna do that by pushing the spring back. That will expose just the cable and the cable will come right out. Alright guys, this is how it looks with the cable off. All I did was pull on the brake cable and took it off of there. It's pretty easy. And you're left with these little guys. If you bought a whole set, they're gonna come with these. Now what you're gonna do is I'm gonna clean this whole plate first, and then I'll grab the rest of the brake shoes and hardware, and I'm gonna start transferring whatever I'm gonna reuse from here, like probably this. I'm gonna remove that from here, and I don't know if I'm gonna reuse the rest. Maybe this, not sure. The kit comes with a whole bunch of things. I'm probably gonna use this, and this. But first, we're gonna clean here because I'm also gonna replace this. This is the wheel, brake wheel cylinder. That's what it's called. And that has the brake line and 2 bolts. All right, guys, nice and clean. It was a mess. I got it as clean as I can. Now I'm gonna remove the wheel cylinder. And I started messing with the fitting. And then it's so tight, I ended up using a little torch, heat it up a little bit, and it's starting to go. But it's so corroded that I'm using a vice grip, one of these, to get it out. That's the only way I got it to turn. So I already got it freed up, so I'm gonna continue working on that. So ideally, you don't have to do none of that. But you see how that fitting is all corroded? Well, it was corroded, so it lost the shape of it. So no wrench actually fit correctly on it. And that's what I had to do. I had to use the method I did. So now I'm gonna go ahead and remove those 2 bolts in the back of the wheel cylinder. Should be 12 millimeter. And it'll come out. All right, I got both bolts out. They weren't 12, they're actually 13 or a 1/2 inch. So this thing should be able to come off now. Now they should be holding it. Maybe needs a couple of love taps. It's amazing how seized from the rust it is in place. See this thing? I don't want to lose that. Let me double check, make sure it doesn't have any more bolts. It only has 2. Yep. And there it is, guys. See the bleeder? I had to use a chisel and just cut it because it wasn't coming out, and I needed the space for the line. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean this up real good and then put the new one in. I'll show you. Okay, that's as clean as I can get it. I sprayed it down with some brake cleaner, cleaned it with a wire brush, and we're gonna put the new one in. All right, guys, I'm working on the new one now. I ended up cleaning the bolts and putting some anti-seize on them, and then I'm replacing the bolts, and then I'll do the line. I had to remove the bleeder so that I have enough room for the wrench on the line. So there it is, all assembled. I had to flip this one around because I had it backwards. Put grease on the adjuster. It comes with grease around the threads, and on the other end it floats. And that's ready. So I'm gonna go ahead and find the spring in the kit. It goes from side to side. Put that on. We also gotta put this leg on this hole. So I'm also gonna remove that. Guys, so the way I took it off is with the flathead screwdriver. It was on there, and all I did was smack the legs open a little bit, and then smack the legs towards this side, and then put the screwdriver here and smack it, and it came right out. Now that comes off. You got the parking brake lever ready to go. Nothing else there. We got a new locking thing. I'm gonna go ahead and clean this before I put it on the other side. I pretty much got everything assembled. I found the spring, and I'm reusing the red spring because they're all yellow and I don't like it. So I'm gonna go ahead and reuse that one. Use one of the yellow brand new ones. I got that shiny part right there. That's for the parking brake actuator. No, for the adjuster. Sorry, for this piece. So yeah, all they do is hook up. You put in the hole and you turn it around and you hook it up. Same thing. It's easy. Same thing with these. You put this side on first, and then with a plier, a needle nose plier, you pull it and you hook it up to this hole. And it's almost done. I'm gonna clean this up and I'm gonna place it where it goes in that hole, and then use my new C-clips. There's one here, and then that's it. And I'll show you how to put everything back. All right, I cleaned it. I put it in there in the hole. I put a piece of wood underneath so that I can hold this piece up through the pad, through the shoe. Sorry. And then once everything's stable, I went ahead and placed the C-clip where it went, and I grabbed it like this and squeezed it till it went inside the groove. Now I'm gonna go ahead and close the legs nice and tight, and that should be it for that. And then I'll put the spring back on here where it goes. Actually, I can put it on now. I'm gonna close that, and we should be ready to install it back on here. Oh, we gotta clean this piece too. Anyway, yeah, let me finish this and we'll clean that up. All right, so before we put anything on, you gotta put your parking brake cable on. I was gonna put the whole thing the same way I took it out, but it didn't work out. It fell apart on me. So let's hook this up. All you gotta do is pull back on the spring and put it on there the way it was. Grease every point with the grease provided from the kit. There's 6 points, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Some grease on those locations, and then proceed to put in the cable on and locate the little springs that are gonna hold everything together. I'll show you how it's done. All right, guys, as you can see, I got the shoes held by the springs that hold everything together. These, you have to hold the new piece from the back with your finger while you have the tool on the spring. You push in and twist till you get it to lined up on the slot. So it lines up, it goes in, and then it locks. But make sure you got it so they're sitting exactly where they need to be sitting, otherwise you're gonna have a hard time. Now I'm gonna proceed and put the rest of the pieces on. All right, guys, I have it to where all I have to do now is hook up the springs. I gotta hook up the wire here for this piece, basically. So it's a spring that's gonna go on here, and it's gonna reach over here, so I gotta see how I set it up. All right, guys, so that's how it goes. You hook it up to here, you bring it around that piece, and then you put it on here. It's pretty easy. You can do it with a screwdriver, or yeah, with a screwdriver. That's how I did it. Once you got it in, double check, make sure it didn't fall off, that it's located properly, and it's still on there. Now all these shoes are gonna move as you're doing all this, and you gotta place them back. This one is off here, but this spring is gonna pull everything in this direction. It's gonna bring this back, hopefully. If not, I'll shove it in place. Make sure that this piece is not binding or stuck in any way. I think that's just to hold the shoes back. But I'm gonna show you with the tool. You're gonna use this piece of the tool. We use this one to remove and this one to install. Okay? So you're gonna grab, hopefully I can do this with one hand. So place the spring like this, grab the spring like this. You can do this with a screwdriver too. If you got the tool, it's supposed to make things easier because it has that groove. So now you pry, it's supposed to bring the spring. See, it's kind of hard to do it with one hand. Place it on here. And, well, you get the idea, right? All I gotta do is adjust it, but I need both hands to kind of do that. But that's how it goes, and then it'll slip right on there. Yep. See, I got it to fall right in there. Now all I gotta do is remove the tool and the spring should stay. And there it goes. Now double check everything, make sure everything's nice and tight, make sure everything's sitting where it needs to be sitting. And that's finished, guys. So all I gotta do now is put the drive shaft in. Now remember, you don't have to take the drive shaft off to do all this. It's just that because I was replacing the seal, I did. And it also makes the job easier, because otherwise that part of the shaft is right here in the middle. All right, now the next step is to make sure everything is adjusted correctly so we can slip the shaft in, but the drum will fit on there nice and snug. But that's pretty much it, guys. Make sure you turn this to the turn it to so that it's all the way closed. That way you have enough room to put the drum on, or make it so that it's a snug fit, and that way you don't have to adjust it a lot. But the way you adjust the brakes, you're gonna go from the back. See that plug? You're gonna remove that plug from the back, and you're gonna stick a screwdriver on here, but through there, through the hole, and you're gonna turn this. Right? So you're gonna turn it up. If you're back there, you're gonna turn it up, and that's gonna adjust the brake to open or to close, however you want to do it. Down to close, up to open. All right then, thank you for watching. If you like the video, please leave a like. Subscribe is free, and I will catch you in the next video. Thank you for watching.